So, tell us a little bit about yourself and some of the things that you do.
So my name's Javier Ibarra. I am a film student at Portland State, and some of the things that I do is just photography, video, as well as collect, buy, sell, trade video games. I'm into art, especially like visual art. As I mentioned, the things that I do are also things that I like to. I guess view other people's artwork, whether it's photography, film, or video games. So yeah, it's pretty much what I do now. Yeah.
So, tell us when this interest in video art began.
I've been interested in like the visual arts for as long as I remember. I guess my earliest memories where I was really aware of it was probably in high school. And I was in high school from 1996 up until 2000, the year that I graduated. And during my high school years, I was always active in taking part of the classes, like the art classes, whether they were, drawing, sculpture, painting, I did all that stuff. A lot of that artwork that I produced during that time hasn't survived just because I didn't really take good care of it. But I might have a piece or two, but I don't have anything on me, unfortunately. But I think most of it hasn't survived.
So, what are some of the photographic projects you've worked on at PSU?
Well, I took a color and black and white photography course, both taught by Julia Grieve. I learned a lot from her. Um, and most recently was the black and white um, class, and it was we were actually working with film, so it was all analog and chemical process. And I really liked that because it really slowed down my work as far as like out when I'm out taking pictures. I felt like I wasn't so rushed, as well as like in the darkroom, because I think with digital you take a photograph and then you get that instant access. It's just so quick. But with film, you have to be a little bit patient because you take the photograph and you can't immediately view it, and then when you're developing it, that's also a process in itself. So you have to be careful, or you could ruin the film. So it's really hands on. I would say more than digital. I respect both mediums, however, but I think definitely taking the time to learn the older process could help and transfer over to like the new digital format and stuff.
So, tell us a bit more about your street photography process.
Well, with street photography, what I usually try to do is I try to go. Well, I go out, here in Portland or wherever I find myself, and I just kind of explore the area. Sometimes if I'm like in a certain area, I'll usually stay there for like half hour. It's almost like fishing. I just kind of stay there, observe, and that's how I try to take photos, ones that are more, observing the subject or maybe revealing. I think when I first started out, they were maybe more like voyeuristic, and because they were shy. And what I mean, they were quickly taken, or they were taken like from a distance, and you could really see that in the photographs. So I think I've grown as a photographer, where now it's more of an observation, and it's slow and deliberate, whereas before it was just quick and coy, which gave it that voyeuristic look. So yeah, I just try to take my time when I'm out there.
So, now talk to us a little bit about your involvement with video photography on PSU or at PSU.
At PSU, what do you mean, at PSU TV specifically, or?
Yeah, like what's some of the video work that you've done?
Oh, okay. So some of the video projects that I've done while at PSU are both for like classes, as well as for PSU TV. And at PSU TV, I've been involved with like Campus Live, Live Friday, usually sometimes just setting up, sometimes as a cameraman, and in some rare instances as the talent. Um, I enjoy that process. You know, you do learn, and you become exposed to like I guess the struggles that the medium brings, the profession brings. You know, whether it's lack of preparation or um, scheduling conflicts. You know, there's so much stuff, and you definitely do learn a lot about it, and it's a good place I think to learn, just because you could get away with certain things, whereas if it was in the professional world, you probably get fired, or you know, something somebody would say definitely something. So I think it's a good learning experience just to get exposed to the shortcomings. So because then you're better prepared when you're out in the professional world.
So I heard that you produced a local film in the past couple months. Could you tell us a bit more about that?
Yeah, another project I recently produced, Depictions, and I produced that alongside other PSU students. I had a writer, Kayla Tatum. She's pretty talented. No, she is talented. I also had it. I got a director for it, Tuesday Blue, as well as Rainier, and he works at PSU TV, and you know, he was the editor as well as he's gonna help me get it out there to film festivals, which we've so far submitted to one, and hopefully we get into that festival. I'm really looking forward to it. But yeah, that was a good learning experience for me, because usually I'm like, my preference is being behind the camera, and for this film I actually was behind the camera because of a scheduling conflict, but I did more producing, which is something that I do want to pursue in the future. I like working with people and, you know, bringing things together. And I learned a lot from that film. Like, some things took longer than they should have. You know, other things were a little bit rushed, but overall, it was a good learning experience for me, and I hope it was for those that were involved as well. But yeah, that's that film is actually currently up at the PSU.TV website, so definitely check it out.
Now, tell us a bit more about your gaming life.
Mm, Gaming is pretty much a big part of my life, and I go through phases. Sometimes I won't even touch video games or even think about them, but I kind of drift in and out of it, and I've done that throughout the years. And I think right now I'm in a phase where I'm into it, and I've been playing a lot of like the older games. Um, but I like collecting, you know, and I respect video games as an art form.
What would you say your favorite game ever is?
One of my favorite games ever is probably The Legend of the Mystical Ninja. It's kind of an obscure title for the Super Nintendo, and I think it was released either in 1991 or 1992, so it's fairly old. But that game, the reason why I like it was because it first exposed me to, I think, Japanese culture, because it's very Japanese centric type of game, and you know, I was always curious about that world, you know, because there was a lot of things that were lost in translation that I didn't understand, but it didn't put me off towards it. I was more curious to learn more about it, and also the music. The game has really music. As cheesy as it is, you know, it's very catchy and fast paced. But yeah, that game was definitely one of my all time favorites. I still have it to this day too. So that's, to me, I guess, with art and in life, there needs to be some kind of tension, some kind of struggle, because without it, we don't really have anything to, I guess, express. So, you know, art is definitely conflict, drama, and the artist, as Tarkovsky said, never works in ideal conditions. And I think I definitely agree with that. And it's something that we should be appreciative of because it makes us more human and it makes our work more meaningful. But yeah, that's what I think.